Hey guys, Sword here, and this is going to be another vlog with Minecraft. And if you have any questions, concerns, topics, discussions, or ideas you want to share with me in the comment section below, or send me a message, feel free to do so. And if I use your idea or I answer your question in another video, I'll credit you verbally within that video, and as well as that I'll link people to your channel as giving thanks for helping me out in the video description below. So, without further ado, there's a cow over there, and then there's a slime. You're going to see me kill slimes because those things are always fun to kill. Especially when one is trying to climb up the stairs. You shall not succeed. And then you're going to fall off the stairs. Teehee. Alright. So, this is a legitimate question. And even if the question is silly, I'll still answer it. Either be legitimate answers or just as silly as the question. So don't feel free to actually ask questions, whether it be silly or not, and if I actually answer it, that just gives me something to talk about. So this is what the entire idea is, and as well as I'll credit you for helping me out. So the real OMG, it's a tree. You know what your question is when you hear this. So, do you like Mudkips? And first of all, that is a long name, and it's the real OMG, it's a tree. It's no imitation. It's just the real OMG, it's a tree. Okay, so do I like Mudkips? No. I'm not gonna fall under the temptation of the meme, but honestly, I don't. Mudkips are cool, but it's not my favorite. Because if I were to choose a Pokemon for a starter in the Sapphire, Emerald, and Ruby generation, I would go with Torchic, evolve it into a Blaziken. Yep, combustion. It goes to Torchic, Combustion, and then Blaziken. I had to remember. It's been a while since I've actually watched Pokemon or have been involved with the Pokemon series. Even though I have Pokemon White and Pokemon Black too, I just haven't been really playing it. Because I don't really have much time to play it anymore. Sadly, even though I want to get the Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, which I'm going to discuss about in a bit. Excuse me. I remember talking about this in not this topic itself, but I remember talking about Pokemon in general with my high school friends. And one of the things that we were to talk about, if Pokemon was real, and then we all make a lot of jokes, and then yeah. But then I go into serious notes like, how will this and this go into place? So, thank you for that question, because that's going to actually be another type of video in another day that I'm going to talk about if Pokemon was real. And then we're going to go into discussion about that, and let's see where that goes. But until then, I want to talk about my favorite Pokemon. I had a list, I lost it, so let's see if I can actually remember it. Well, anything that is fox, anything that are foxes, is going to be an instant favorite for me. Unless it's, ew, ugly type of deal. I don't know. I just preferences. I like the way that they look, and I like the way that they are pretty much, what's it called? Their move sets and their types and all that good stuff. That just goes all the way into play. But anything that generally involves foxes or a little bit of canine, it will be an instant favorite for me. Is that there's Vulpix and there's Ninetales. Vulpix, very, very awesome. Again, fox Pokemon. Then we have Ninetales. Just beware of the tails. If it doesn't like you and you touch one of its tails, it's a 1,000-year curse for every tail that you touch. So be careful with Ninetales. And then we have Lucario, which is a canine. I've always thought it was a fox, but someone told me that it was just a canine, so it was like, oh my god. Oh well. Lucario was awesome because Lucario had a very own movie of how it controlled the aura and how everything was going, how it learned telepathy, and how awesome it was in its training. So Lucario was one of my favorites, and especially whenever we play Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I would always choose Lucario, and then I go with the Smash Ball, and then I go with the Kamehameha on everybody else on the bottom of the screen. It was so fun. Wolf, however, was very, very overpowered, especially with the tank. But that's another story. Well, then we have Absol. Although Absol is always credited to the point where if you see an Absol, a disaster is going to happen. That is not the case. Whenever you see an Absol, the Absol absolutely knows. Absol absolutely. See what I did there unintentionally? Well, Absols can always sense when a disaster is coming. And usually it tries to warn people, and as well as it tries to help people out. But the fact that whenever you see an Absol, people assume that a disaster is going to come upon, and then that's pretty much why Absols get a bad reputation in the series. So, yeah. Good to know, right? So even Pokemon have to face discrimination. Okay. But Absols are actually really cool. I just like how they're a dark type and just the way that they look. They have a sickle on their head. If you mess with them, they'll just slice your arm off with a sickle on their head, as well as their tail. Their tails could be as sharp as a blade, so you have to be careful on that. Well, then we have Mew. Mew was in the first movie. Mew is a cat type Pokemon. I had favorites of cats before I actually started to like canines, because every time when I was around canines, I just had bad experiences to the point where, yeah, I just didn't want anything involved with canines. I always thought that cats were cooler, but then I realized that canines will love you more than a cat. The cat loves you just because you help it or feed it, but a canine will actually love you unconditionally. You could actually be mad at it and somehow you accidentally hit it, or you actually hit it on purpose, depending on the situation. I do not endorse, or I do not want anyone to abuse their animals. I'm just saying, like, if you accidentally hit it or you actually punch it, yeah, let's say you punch it just for the fact that you let it know that they're not supposed to do that, they'll still love you another day. They will not hold a regret, or they will not hold a grudge against you, and they will still always unconditionally love you. That's what I liked about canines. Cats, however, whenever you scare it, it's gonna stay scared, because that's how it is with my cat and my father. Because whenever the cat always goes to my father's room, my dad would always scare it off, and now the cat's actually afraid of my father. Every time he sees my father, the cat actually runs away. So there you go. Alright, let's move on, shall we? We've kind of gone to a little touchy subject, which I couldn't really explain clearly, but I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to do a retake. Alright, so then we have, Mew. Mew is a cat type Pokemon that actually can, in fact, turn into any other Pokemon. That's kind of cool, especially when the Pokemon Mew actually had its own movie too. It had part of the storyline about Mewtwo. So, yeah. Especially when Mew is also part of the Lucario movie, The Mystery with Mew. It all fits together now, doesn't it? So Mew is one of my other favorite Pokemons too. It's cute, it's cuddly, it's adorable. Yeah, man card's lost, but who cares? We're talking about Pokemon and our childhood memories. I wonder if you guys have any nostalgia feeling of remembering all the times you actually spent talking about, discussing about, or even collecting or playing the games. Or even watching the series for that matter. Even though the series kind of dumbed down, just for the fact that whoever's running it now is just basically gearing it towards a younger audience. So if you were to actually watch the series now, black and white, it's getting too childish for my liking. That's why I haven't really been watching it. Granted, I'll still watch it in any other show that's on early in the morning. So that's my little tiny rant. Alright, then we have Arcanine. Arcanine, large legendary Pokemon. It's not even a legendary, but if you actually read the Pokemon card, it calls it a legendary Pokemon. Kind of ironic now, isn't it? Every Officer Jenny has either a Growlithe or an Arcanine. So, it's not really that legendary. Sorry, Jet Legends, I couldn't really join your party because when I was filming this, I had to go to sleep. I was pretty much filming this at 12:30 in the morning. So, as soon as I got to sleep, I came back home, and then there you go. This is what this video you go to see today. Alright. So we got the Arcanine. It'd be cool to have your very own Arcanine just walking around. You could actually go on its back, and then you could just pretty much run through the city. Very, very cool. That's how it is. Alright, let me see if I can remember any other Pokemon. Oh yes, there's always the Eeveelutions. That's right, I call them Eeveelutions. Look it up. There's the Eevee, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Umbreon, Espeon, Leafeon, and Glaceon. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna make an Eeveelution for all of it, for all types. I just can't wait. So, let's continue on. They're not really foxes. I don't think that they are foxes. They call them foxes, but I'm not really too sure that they are foxes. Oh wait, they are foxes. Confusion. Some people call them like felines, some people call them foxes just because of the evolution. I don't know. Okay, let's move on. And then, of course, we have Zorua and Zoroark, the infamous, mysterious fox Pokemon, or the illusion Pokemon. When Zorua tries to pretty much, shape shifts itself, you can always see the tail, or you can see some part of thing that is just not complete. And then Zoroark, obviously, it knows better on illusion that could actually make a perfect illusion. So a lot of shape shifters. And then we have, I'm not gonna say Ditto's my favorite, but then we have Ditto, which obviously it's pretty much a clone attempt of Mew. You could actually watch Did You Know Gaming on that if you want to know. So we got a lot of shapeshifters, obviously. Alright, Lugia, of course. Lugia was my favorite. It was either Ho-Oh or Lugia. Lugia, hands down, favorite. Especially on Pokemon Silver. Even though we never actually got Ho-Oh. Wait, I don't even remember. It's been a long time. Alright. And then, even though I don't actually have this game, I actually love this Pokemon. Just for the fact that it is a fox, after all. Excuse me. Okay, so this one's a fox after all, and Pokemon X and Y. You probably guys would already know what I'm talking about, but it's Fenniken, or Fenniken, however you want to pronounce it. Fox Pokemon, starter Pokemon, fire type. Perfect combination. And obviously, it's adorable. I don't care if you guys judge me. I'm calling it adorable. It's awesome. I like it. But I don't have a 3DS, so I can't buy the game. That's the sad part. But, yeah, obviously, anything that is a canine or anything that's a fox would probably be an instant favorite unless if it actually looks ugly. That's how it is. I actually like how it looks. That's just a majority of the reason why I kind of call them a favorite. Mudkip, however, it's cool. It's kind of cute, but it has its own meme. But I'm not gonna really like it. So I answered your question, and then I talked about my other favorite Pokemon. So, what is your favorite Pokemon? Give us a list, or tell us what your Pokemon favorites are, why that is, and what you think behind them, or anything other than the matter. So, obviously, I don't like Mudkips. Sorry to disappoint you. But thank you, TheRealOMGItsATree, for giving me that question and helping me get more things out. And now I got more things to discuss about. And obviously, if you actually look under the light or the ice, you get that light. But until then, have a nice day, everybody. I am Zoroark, and I will see you in the next video.